Good evening, everyone. And firstly, thanks a lot, Mr. Namburu. I think you had a wedding to attend. And you were kind enough to take a break to the wedding just to attend this event. For all of our heart, thanks a lot for that. Can I have a big round of applause for something like perspective? And yeah, so it's a very interesting and meaningful topic that we're talking about today. And uh, the word sustainability is catching up. So, 4 years back, we launched the first ever sustainability report in India. And what it seemed was quite terrifying. Most of the companies do not have a sustainability practice, a lot of greenwashing and everything. Fast forward 3 years from now, there's a lot of talk about running sustainable businesses to the extent that I was with one of the listed companies promoters, a billion dollar company, a couple of months back, and I was saying one of their investors is a Norwegian sovereign fund, and they were threatening that they would short all their shares in the company if they don't start following sustainable practices. So it is very evident that in terms of valuation, pricing, almost everybody who's here thinking about taking their company to the next level, sustainability is going to play a key role. And you're so passionate about it. And I thought it's important that we address that in the forum. So when you were thinking about India 50 years from now, what worries you most as a real estate promoter, developer, entrepreneur?
Today, India has a population of 1.4 billion, and 50 years from now, it is projected to grow to about 1.6 billion. Not much. If you take the last 50 years growth rate, within next 50 years, the growth rate is falling. One, because many parents are choosing to have a single child. Two, the overall fertility rate has come down. So that's about 15% population growth in 50 years. But if you take a scan at the top 20 cities in the country, they're at around 22, 23 crore population today and expected to grow to about 75 crores population. Look at the size of growth there, 300%. Where is 15%? Where is the 300%? So parity is coming. This parity is coming from the fact that people from rural India are moving to towns because of healthcare for elders and education for children. And the educated, the young engineers, doctors are moving to the cities for the better job opportunities and business opportunities. And thus, the migration into urban India is rapid, and particularly the growth engine cities like the Bangalore, Hyderabad, Mumbai, NCR region are growing to the seams. So with this, imagine what is going to happen. A city like Hyderabad is expected to grow to a population about 3.75 to 4 crores in the next 50 years. And
How many from now? What how?
we are at about 1.3 crores today. So that's almost 300%, three times growth. And the current GHMC limits are not going to add another 2.5 crore population and fit them in there. Obviously, the city is going to grow way beyond. I mean, one can imagine Siddipet is going to be part of the new GHMC. In the south, Mahbub Nagar, in the west, and Zahirabad. So, city is going to grow. What does it mean? It means a lot of traffic congestion. The air quality is going to drop. Delhi is at 300, 400 AQI today, and Hyderabad, surprisingly, in the west, the financial district and Neopolis, it's already we are at 200, 225 AQI in bad days. So it's not surprising to say that air quality in most of the cities is going to be similar to what it is in Delhi today. And I think we are up for a task, for a challenge. And unless until developers start focusing on sustainability from today rather than leaving it for future, we are up for a
And the pollution, right? So do customers really care about a developer or a brand being sustainable? Uh, would you, if you went and told them that no, we're a sustainable brand, would they pay more? What has been your experience?
Yeah, there are two sets of customers. The smaller subset of customers are the ones who are already appreciating sustainability, and they are willing to pay a premium for what they are buying in either the upfront price. In any neighborhood, if there is a uh, sustainable project coming up, they are typically paying about 15-20% higher than the neighborhood. So they're willing to pay that upfront price. The second subset of people are willing to travel and for half an hour, 45 minutes away from the core areas and then buy a home there. They are paying in the form of the extra additional commute time. And the second set of customers who have not yet purchased into the sustainability story are, the kind of people, they end up going on a holiday to a nice pristine country like a Switzerland, appreciate uh, the sustainability and return back. And once they're back, they forget get into the brew. And until the next time they're traveling abroad to another pristine country, they forget that. But the good thing, the silver lining on the cloud is every year, every passing year, there are people moving from this bucket to the other bucket of believers of sustainability.
So how do you, so what are the so-called features of being sustainable? Let's say from your urbanized standpoint, how do you qualify your projects as being sustainable? What are the sort of core features? Maybe having a very sustainable spa from GROHE and your no, but on a serious note, what
So in our case, I think we need to divide between the villa communities and the apartment communities that we develop. The villa communities, we offer net zero power now for new projects, which means, say, the power is generated from the rooftops of the villas and also from the common areas, clubhouse, common area, common amenities. So we stand at a net zero power and near net zero water management and an efficient waste management system.
are you measuring that? Are you measuring it yourself, or you get a
Well,
consultant to
almost all of our villa projects are IGPC gold. So, I'm sorry, platinum. We get a platinum certification without adding any color to it. Straight away, we get a platinum certification. And coming to the apartment projects, yes, 75% to 100% in some towers. We place the towers with the solar panels, and we also place building top wind turbines on the parapet walls of all the towers. So that generates up to about 17-18% of the requirement for the community. But then we are also speaking to the government. We submitted an application to all three states where we operate, Karnataka, Telangana, and Tamil Nadu, for the government to allow us to put up mid-sized wind turbines on top of the buildings, 10 meters tall, with a rotor width of about 7 meters to 10 meters. That can generate additional, imagine each tower having 4 such, wherever, of course, where it is feasible for the wind to be harvested. And at the same time, there are other areas where there are height restrictions, you cannot do that. So the government is looking into it. Perhaps a day will come when they will approve it, and we have additional power generated for all the common utilities.
And in your project, we've seen Bungru wells and perennial wells. Could you explain that to the audience here, please?
So Bungru wells is a patented technology developed by a Rajasthani company, a company with full of geologists. Um, what they do is they do 7 kind of different earth studies, being seismic studies, the geomagnetic studies, and radar studies, bring in the satellite maps and use all the 7 and generate data to identify voids underneath the surface. Basically, there are voids in the granitic rock. Some voids are small, some are large. So they identify voids which are connected, interconnected, and can take up to 50 lakh from 50 lakh liters to about 2 crore liters can be stored inside there. Typically, they are about 150 meters to 400 meters below the surface, and you can find some even further below. So when there is a viable 50 lakh, 1 crore liter storage down there, so boreholes are drilled from the surface, and then Once the project is completed, the rainwater is fed to those boreholes, and the water during the rainy season is going and filling those voids down under. And we have a good amount of water stored down there during the summer periods, and in a immersible. That's what is a Pungru well, and we started using them in our projects, all our new projects. Yes, it was originally designed for arid, semi-arid, and desert kind of places, but we started experimenting it in all of our projects. And the other one, the perennial wells you're talking about that you see in our projects, is uh, a technology that we have. Urbanrise itself has patented. Um, we have applied for the patent, and the technology is in any given site. Let's say your project site is some 20 acres. In any given site, there is not one water aquifer underneath. There can be none, there can be one, there can be many. So what we do is identify the number of aquifers within the site, and then through hydrogeology. And once the aquifers are identified, we map at what depths each one of them are. We do a 3D modeling of that. And we we dig a open well, a typical open well, about 30 meters deep, 30 meters, 20 meters width, dia. So it is sitting on one aquifer, and since we have a 3D model of the other aquifers, we horizontally drill inside the well to connect the other aquifers. So during a dry summer period, whenever there is what the primary aquifer dries up, the other aquifers are supplying it to the well, thus making it a perennial well. And we are very excited about doing those wells in our projects, and we have applied for a patent for that technology.
And with our applause for that, could you make it open source for all the guests here? The next question: tell me about your IPO plans. I think is it on? What's going on?
I shouldn't be talking much about that now. So
There is no media here.
we are filing for the draft red herring prospectus in July, August months. Wait for the SEBI approval and then go for the road shows.
And would you advise real estate companies in India uh, go public because going public means more scrutiny from regulators, shareholder, media, all the entire ecosystem, right? What would your advice to be any private company who's here? Should they go public, remain private?
Well, it's a journey we have traveled several years. Most of the merchant bankers and others would advise don't go it too many, statutory, and typically you lose your control. What are you doing? Why are you doing this for somebody else? Is this your ego trying to push you to do any IPO? But then the way we saw it is it's another way to build a brand for the organization. When the customer walks into your projects, today we tell that so and so financial institution is backing us, an RDI is backing, or a Motilal is backing. But then once you are a listed company, generally the buyers take comfort in the fact that they are listed, they're well funded, they're well liquid, and the numbers are all transparent around them.
The last question to you: where do you see people living 50 years from now, and how are they going to live?
So it is our belief in the organization when we sit together and talk that over the last 30, 40 years, governments used to announce an IT corridor, a Gachibowli, a financial district, or an economic corridor, or an industrial corridor. So once and allot land to the companies. That's when residential real estate developers used to build around those areas. But in the future, 50 years from now, 40 years from now, when real estate development city is growing all the way till Siddipet and beyond in the north, and Mehboob Nagar in the south, or even beyond, when the city expands so much, it's not possible for somebody to be buying a home there and coming to west of Hyderabad, that is the financial district, to work there. It's not possible. So governments also are going to soon stall this creation of economic corridors and then start developing integrated corridors such as mm, 500,000 acres of townships, whether the government offers them or the private developers develop them. This is how the things are going to move. Somebody will be buying a home in Siddibet or a Mehboob Nagar, and it's a township with 1,000 acres where there are clusters of IT parks, clusters of AI parks, clusters of commercial business parks, and then there is retail parks. There are food and entertainments, all nicely collaborated with the residential. So that's where people are going to buy, and people are going to be. Governments are going to mandate these townships to take care of their own water, generate their own water, make sure they generate their 100% of power required for the townships, manage their entire waste. You're not going to be seeing all those waste trucks moving in and out of the communities like we see today. Municipal trucks and the waste management trucks, the entire waste is digested within the community, is used for its internet purposes. And the you will find every township with centralized air purifying systems, and it's no longer going to be an STP that throws out the water used only for flushing or for landscaping. Pretty much like the Singapore does, we will be drinking the water from STPs. We'll be showering with the water from the STPs. So things are going to be significantly different. And another thing that we see today, Hyderabad has about 300, 350 pulmonologists in total, the entire Greater Hyderabad region. You compare it with Delhi NCR region, they have about 2,700, 2,800 pulmonologists. No wonder it shows, the air quality index and the number of pulmonologists required. And it is projected that Hyderabad city 50 years from now is going to have 7,000 to 8,000 pulmonologists, and most of the children or grandchildren, most of the people in each of the household is going to have some kind of an ailment with lungs. And it's a wake-up call for all of us to think and start taking some small steps in towards sustainability, implementing certain features. And then lot of people find it to be a burden to start using sustainable features. But we can monetize that. We can monetize sustainability. Typically, a branded player is investing about 300 to 400 rupees per square feet on sustainable features. And the selling price is in any neighborhood where there is an established price, the sustainable projects peg a 15-20% higher pricing, and you square it off at an area where 10,000 is the selling price in the neighborhood. You're selling 1,500 to 2,000 rupees additional, where your cost is about 300 to 400. You're certainly monetizing that amenity. And secondly, you bring in a sustainable project into the market. There are eyeballs. There is a brand identity for the project. With the brand identity comes many benefits. The sales is faster. The salesperson who is sitting with the customer in the marketing office has a lot more story to tell to the customer, and the velocity of sales is higher. If the velocity of sales is higher, you complete the project sooner, hand over the project sooner. If you complete the project sooner, you close your project loan sooner. You close your projects loan sooner. You have cash liquidity, and you have ability to acquire more and more land parcels for your future pipeline.
So also institutional investors, no, attracting them, that could be a huge benefit to if you are sustainable.
Yeah, they do take a look at you, but while that is not no longer, not yet a requirement.
I think that's great. Big round of applause for Namburu. Such a pleasure listening to you. So much to learn from. Thank you.